Hi guys, a very warm welcome to all of you in our YouTube channel Gurmantra Shiksha Ka Granth, and I am your educator Saranya. And today we are going to learn about one of the most important techniques, that is Western blot. So we have already started our techniques lessons. So far we have seen agarose gel, electrophoresis, SDS page. So actually if you do a full-fledged experiment or some kind of research in your lab, you will definitely do Western blot after SDS. So why do you have to do Western blot after SDS? Because in SDS itself we'll get to know what is the molecular weight of your protein. So why are we doing Western blot? So the answer is there can be more than one proteins having same molecular weight. Okay, there can be more than one proteins which can have the same molecular weight. You can get two bands at the same location, so you will not be able to find the exact protein which is of your interest. So to overcome this, we are going to use the technique Western blotting. Okay, so what happens in Western blotting is you can actually detect your protein of interest with 100% accuracy. Okay, so yes, if you talk about the application of Western blotting, it is very much useful in detection of diseases with a good accuracy. For example, if they do HIV test, the preliminary test will be the ELISA. They'll check for the antibodies, and the secondary test and also the confirmatory test is the Western blot. Western blot is the confirmatory test for detecting HIV. Okay, so this is useful in so much of detection of a particular disease, and if you want to actually isolate a protein of interest, you can do Western blotting. So there are so many applications of Western blotting, and yes, if you're doing SDS page, then yeah, you will definitely do Western blotting to confirm your protein. So what is a Western blot technique? Okay, so the term blotting refers to the transfer of biological sample from a gel to a membrane. So blotting simply means that you're going to transfer your sample from a gel, that is your agarose gel or a polyacrylamide gel, to a membrane. Okay, and their subsequent detection on the surface of the membrane. After the protein gets transferred to the membrane, then the detection part will come. So southern blot means for DNA, northern blot is for RNA, and western blot is for protein. So western blot, it is also called as immunoblotting because in this technique antigen and antibody are involved for the detection. Okay, antibody is basically involved for the detection of a particular antigen. Antigen is nothing but your protein of interest. So this is also called as immunoblot, and this was introduced by Tobin in 1979, and it is being used as a routine technique for protein analysis. So Western blotting can produce qualitative and semi-quantitative data about the protein of interest. It is an important technique used in the cell and molecular biology. So it enables the researchers to identify the specific protein from a mixture of proteins. Okay, so you can actually identify a specific protein from a mixture of proteins based on its size and amount. Okay, so SDS page should be done first and followed by Western blotting. So the principle of Western blotting is that it is a very rapid and sensitive method, and it's an assay for the detection and characterization of the proteins. It is based on the principle of immunochromatography, where the proteins are separated, okay, in the polyacrylamide gel according to their molecular weight. Then they will be transferred into a nitrocellulose membrane, and it will be detected using the primary antibody, the secondary antibody conjugated with an enzyme. Then you'll add a substrate. So all of this will be involved. Okay, it is, you can actually feel like the process of ELISA, where we use primary secondary antibodies and substrate. All of this was used in ELISA. So yes, the mechanism is kind of same. The primary antibody will be complementary to the protein of interest. So wherever your protein of interest is present, your primary antibody will go and bind. So primary antibody is just to know if your protein of interest is present. But how will you know that? You will know that by secondary antibody, which will be labeled with an enzyme. So secondary antibody will be put. This secondary antibody will bind to the primary antibody, which has been bound to the antigen. Now you will add the substrate. Substrate will react with the enzyme and it will produce color. So the production of color tells you about the presence of your protein of interest. Actually, in this technique, which particular band is your protein of interest can be found. Okay, so the main purpose is for the detection of protein of our interest. So this is the procedure for Western blotting. Okay, so what you will do is, first you load the sample, okay, and separate the protein based on its molecular weight on SDS page. To perform Western blotting, you have to do SDS page. So that is the first step. You load and separate the protein samples based on SDS page. Second will be, you're going to electrophoretically transfer the proteins. That is, you're simply going to transfer the proteins from SDS page to the PVDF membrane or nylon membrane. Okay, so transfer will be done, and that will be done using electrophoresis, which means it will involve current. Then you will block the membrane with neutral protein, which means wherever free space is present in the membrane will be blocked with the proteins like BSA or milk casein. This can be used because PVDF is a membrane which can bind to the antigen or antibody. Okay, it has good affinity. So if you put primary antibody without blocking the membrane, the primary antibody can simply bind to the membrane and not just to the protein of interest. Okay, it will definitely bind to the protein of interest, but the antibody can also bind to the remaining area, okay, in the membrane, and that will give you false result. We cannot afford to do false result because this is actually a very big technique and you should do with so much of precision. SDS page will take a lot of time. Similarly, Western blot is going to take a lot of time. And you are going to do this experiment with so much accuracy, so much concentration. You cannot afford to make a mistake. And false positive is not a case to be considered at all. So what we will do in order to avoid the false positive, we will block the membrane with the BSA. It will not go and bind to the antigen, but wherever free space is present in the membrane, it will go and bind. Same principle which we studied in ELISA. Next, you are going to incubate the membrane with the primary antibody. That is the fourth step. You can see the fourth step, right? This is the fourth step. You're going to incubate the membrane with primary antibody specific to the target antigen. Okay, so you know what particular protein of interest is present and you just want to detect it. Okay, so target protein, you will definitely know what it is, but you do not know where it is. Okay, and you have to detect that using the primary antibody. Okay, using the primary antibody, and for that you're going to incubate the primary antibody in the membrane. Okay, so next, incubate the membrane with HRP labeled secondary antibody specific to the primary antibody. So first, after the addition of the primary antibody, next you will be doing secondary antibody. And what you will do with the secondary antibody is that when primary antibody binds to the antigen, when the primary antibody actually binds to the antigen, you're going to need a specific secondary antibody for the detection purpose. So secondary antibody which will be labeled with an enzyme, that is HRP, horse radish peroxidase enzyme. Okay, horse radish peroxidase enzyme, that will be labeled with the secondary antibody, that will be put inside the plate, the membrane. It will be put on the membrane. So what will happen, wherever primary antibody is present, you can see here your secondary antibody will come and bind. Okay, your secondary antibody will come and bind. Now you're going to put the substrate. You will put the substrate, whatever the suitable substrate is present, you will put for horseradish peroxidase enzyme. Then when you put substrate plus enzyme, it will react and give you color, and that color you can visualize like this. The bands will be seen in color like this. Okay, The bands will be seen in color. So what are the steps we saw? First is preparation of the Western blot buffers, regions, sample, everything. And the first step what you do before Western blotting is SDS page. You'll perform SDS page, only then you will do Western blot. Remember this, okay? So you'll do SDS page, which is this step. Then you're going to transfer the proteins, that is like bands over here, protein bands, to this membrane, and that is called as Western blot. Okay, since Western means for protein. Next you're going to do membrane blocking, and you know why do we block the membrane? So that we do not want false positive. Okay, so that is why. Then we are going to add primary antibody. You're going to incubate it. You can see here the primary antibody is exactly binding to the antigen of your interest. Very accurately it is binding. Now your secondary antibody will bind here to the primary antibody. Can you see here how clear it is there in this image? Antigen is present, on top of that your primary antibody is there, and on top of that secondary antibody with conjugated enzyme, it is present over here. Now you're going to put the substrate. You're going to put the substrate in this. The substrate will react with the enzyme and it will give you the color, and you can analyze the data. Okay, so transfer buffer. You're going to transfer the proteins from SDS page to Western blot, and for this buffer system is required. Buffer system is required. And what buffer you're going to use? You're going to use running gel buffer. RGB is nothing but running gel buffer. It has composition. Okay, it has different compositions. If you want to know the compositions in detail, you can definitely check it out, but it is, those things will never be asked in questions. Basically the mechanism will be asked, steps might be asked, but the composition they will never ask you. But if you want to know for your own general knowledge, or you're going to perform the Western blot, then you can definitely know. So running gel buffer will be used, methanol will be used, SDS will be used. Okay, you can actually store it if you want at 4 degrees Celsius, or simply you can use it. And how will be your setup? Your setup will be cathode, negative terminal. You'll have thick sheets, then your gel will be present, then you will have the membrane. That is your nylon or PVDF membrane will be present. Again thick sheet and anode, that is positive terminal. So this is how your setup will be. 120 volts will be given and time will be 1.5 hours. Okay. So how do you find if the protein has been transferred to the nitrocellulose membrane? Very important question. Because you can't see it, right? You can't see it. For that, one stain is used. That is Ponshu S stain. Ponshu S stain is used. This is a reversible stain, which means you have a membrane like this. You will put the stain on top of the membrane. So wherever your protein is present like this, it will show you the band, and band will be in pink color. And reversible stain means if you simply add water to this, the stain will go. It will be washed away. That is why it is called as reversible stain. Blocking has to be done so that antibody does not bind to the membrane. And for that, how much time you will do? 1 hour at room temperature you can do, or else you can do overnight at 4 degrees Celsius. And what agent will you use? You can use BSA, okay, bovine serum. You can use that, or you can use the skimmed milk powder. You can use. Then you're going to, after you actually incubate, you're going to wash it. You're going to wash it with PBS. Okay, it is nothing but a buffer. Okay, phosphate buffer saline. Okay, you're going to wash it with the PBS. PBST means phosphate buffer saline and tween. Tween is nothing but a detergent. Okay, so it will wash very well. So you will wash it with PBST, then you will wash it with PBS. Okay, then what you will do? Then you will add antibody. You will add antibody specific to your protein. Okay, you will add antibody that is specific to your protein of interest. Okay, next, after you add antibody, or antibody also you will add and keep it for 1.5 hours. You will keep it for 1.5 hours at room temperature, or overnight at 4 degrees Celsius. and you can actually remove the antibody and you can reuse it. Okay, and again you're going to do the washing step. Washing should always be done with PBS, T and PBS. Okay, next you're going to add a secondary antibody which will be conjugated with the enzyme. Secondary antibody conjugated with the enzyme. One will be horseradish peroxidase, that is called as HRP, and for this substrate what you will use is H2O2 and luminol. It is written over here. Okay, and another enzyme you can use is alkaline phosphatase, and for that you can use the substrate NBT and BCIP. Okay, these are the substrate you can use for the enzyme to production of color. Okay, so detection method of alkaline phosphatase is that you can actually see with your naked eyes. HRP, you have to use a instrument, it's called as ChemDoc. Chemiluminescence ChemDoc will be used for visualizing the image. Okay, so next again you're going to add the PBS and PBST for washing. After this, first you will add the secondary antibody conjugated with enzyme. You will keep it for some time, then you will add the substrate. Okay, so that is the in detailed version of your protocol. So this is the SDS page. Okay, this is the SDS page. You have seen a buffer will be on the top over here, also over here. This is negative terminal and this will be your positive terminal, and samples you will put over here, samples you will put over here. Okay, this will be your stacking gel, this one, and this will be your running gel, or you can simply call it as separating gel or resolving gel. Okay, so and you, after the gel has run, you can see the protein bands. This can be the ladder with different proteins, and you can see the bands of proteins like this. Okay, so next is you're going to transfer the proteins from the um, gel to the membrane. Okay, nylon membrane. Okay, or you can use PVDF membrane, whatever is available. So this is negative electrode, positive electrode. Always it will move from negative to positive. Okay, remember that. So you will have filter papers, thick sheets, then you will have your gel, then membrane, again thick sheets. Okay, so this will be the direction of movement of protein. The protein will get transferred to the membrane. You can see here the protein has been transferred to the membrane. Next, what you'll do is you're going to do blocking. You're going to do blocking with BSA or milk you can use. Then you're going to add primary antibody, secondary antibody, substrate. Then you're going to detect it. Detection, color will be formed. Color. Okay. So next, what are the different types of detection method? You have bioluminescence method. Okay, you have bioluminescence method, chemifluorescence method, autoradiography, and immunocold. These are some of the different types of detection methods. We don't have to learn in detail, but I just wanted you to know what are the different detection methods available. It's not just enzymes alone, but you have several other methods. So this is your final western blot. This is how your western blot will be at the final. Okay, you'll get your bands. This is your marker, this is your marker, and this will be your protein of interest. Okay, this is how you will get the bands. So the steps we'll go through once again like a revision. First will be sample preparation. You will have a sample, your protein sample, your protein sample. Okay, so next will be you're going to do the page, polyacrylamide gel electrophoresis, SDS page you're going to conduct. Next is you're going to transfer the proteins from the gel to the membrane electrophoretically, which means you'll apply the current. Okay, so next is transfer, and after that the step is membrane blocking. You know why do we block? Because we do not want false positive. Next is antibody incubation. First primary antibody, secondary antibody conjugated with enzyme, then you'll add substrate. Okay, then you'll add substrate. Detection, for detection only the secondary antibody will be there, right? It will be, you can see here it is conjugated with HRP. Okay, when you add the substrate, which can be luminol or H2O2, it will produce color. And with what, for example, this is your uh, this is your membrane. Okay, so this is your membrane, and this location you're finding color. Okay, this location you're finding color, maybe blue or black. Okay, blue or black color it will show you. So this color, this particular band alone you'll be able to see, which means in this location your protein of interest is present. Okay, that is all, guys. That is all about the western blotting. Very easy technique, very simple technique, and very interesting to perform also. Okay, so yes, in the comment section you can tell me about the experience of your class. If you are a CSI net aspirant and are interested in joining the an academy platform by detailed paid classes subscription, you can do that. Okay, by following Neha Taneja ma'am. Do follow her. You will get daily live classes, structured courses. You will have live tests and quizzes. You can actually rewatch the videos, and because you have recordings present, recordings will be there, you can see there. Okay, next, this is the pricing based on different months. Okay, if you're going to take subscription for 1 month, this is the cost. For 3 months, this is the cost. 6 months, 12 months, and 24 months. To get 10 percentage off, you're going to use the code Neha. You use the code Neha to get 10 percentage off. Okay, so you can like, share, subscribe, and also comment. Okay, comment to our YouTube channel Gurmantra Shiksha Ka Granth. You can join our Telegram platform. Many students were asking if they want to ask any doubts, how can they contact us? You can simply post your questions in Telegram and interact with other kids over there. So you can actually post your quizzes, and actually it'll be a good group study. Okay, so you can do that in Telegram channel Gurmantra Shiksha Ka Granth. We have a Facebook page, you can visit that, Gurmantra Shiksha Ka Granth. Also in Telegram you'll get updates about the classes daily updates about the classes will be put. You know, my classes will be at 10 a.m. daily for Hindi, and for 10:30 a.m. you will have English. Okay, if you have any queries, you can actually contact us on tanejanehaofficial@gmail.com, or if you want to call us, you can do by 9351280000. Thank you so much, guys. Have a nice day, and I always want you guys to be happy, smiling, and keep studying.